many years ago, Max, when your dad, my dad, Jack McElhone, John Deary, local publicans at Moree, is a well-known character at Balladder, BillyMoon. BillyMoon was the quintessential publican. Younger people will remember him. He was in the Goulburn down in Goulburn Street in the city, which is now Scruffy Murphy's, that sort of deal. Great character. But he got all the AHA members up one day. He'd been to Sydney and he got them around a beer at the Balladder Hotel, the nanny wore in, I think he'd burnt to the ground, and told them about all these stock-taking methods he'd learnt while he was in Sydney. Not that theft was a big deal in the country in those days, but Billy told them how he'd met this bloke who was selling him a set of scales where he could weigh the kegs in and he could weigh the kegs out. And the differentiation between that was the difference in the usage. And then he'd get the bottles and he'd mark the bottles at night time, and then he'd invert them in the morning, he'd measure them again. He had all these systems in place. You could not lose anything. Absolutely fantastic. And Billy would sit there looking at him and he'd have them all sucked in and they'd all be on the edge of their chair. And they'd, this is a great system, Billy. Does it really work? One small problem. Oh yeah, what's that? You cannot go to bed. Once you go to bed, they rob you blind. BillyMoon.